So some of us have things that we are passionate about. It could be your career or your profession. Sometimes it's a hobby. Or if you're an athlete, it's the sport that you dedicated your entire life to. Now, sometimes injuries can take away part of that career. They can take away the last season. They can take away any random season. They can take away an entire career. For some people that never get a chance to fulfill what they thought was their destiny in a given sport. And that leads me to the topic of today, which is Alex Smith. Quarterback, formerly of the San Francisco 49ers. He got replaced due to an injury, which I believe was a concussion at the time, by Colin Kaepernick. Then he ends up with the Washington Redskins, and he was a starting quarterback there until he had a gruesome injury. Broken leg, just you could hear the injury from the field on your television set. You know, it reminds you of Joe Theismann back in '85 and Willis McGahee around the turn of the century, and just really, really awful injuries that you saw in real time and potentially heard happen. Now, Alex Smith, in his recovery, almost died. He almost had his leg amputated. He had to have, so far, 17, that's right, count them, 17 surgeries just to get to where he is today. And today he is rehabbing and trying to make a comeback. That's right, he wants to make a comeback to an NFL field. Amazing. And I have a lot to say about it. I'm Dave Ettinger of Dave Talk Sports. This is the Dave Talk Sports YouTube channel. And you join me on my way home from work from CBS Sports Radio. Well, it used to be every morning. Now it's every other morning. So thank you for joining me on this Thursday morning, 6:24 a.m., the last day of April. Now, the Alex Smith potential comeback leads to many conversations. One, in your estimation, in your opinion, is he insane? I mean, he literally almost died, right? And you could look at Ryan Shazier, formerly of the Steelers, and was, could have been just a routine tackle, head first, gets just hit in the wrong way, and has to relearn how to walk. Now, Alex Smith's injury, again, on the list of most gruesome, most career-ending, you would think, of all injuries, especially playing a brutal, violent game like football. And Alex Smith is not 25 years old anymore. He is in his mid, heading towards his late 30s. So, one, is Alex Smith just crazy to want to get back on an NFL field? Two, is it even remotely possible? Will anyone take a chance on him, even if he looks 100% healthy at his age? And three, if you are in his corner, in his ear, or if you have a child, forget an injury, who wants to play football, would you let him? Or her? Would you let your child pursue a career or passion to potentially play football? Whether it be youth football, middle school, junior high school, college, or potentially at the professional level. Now, my opinion on this issue, I'll just be perfectly honest, has changed over the years. When I was a kid, my mom did not let me play football. I wanted to play Pop Warner when I was a kid. She said, no, it's too violent, too dangerous. You're not playing. So, of course, I played pretty much every other sport known to man. It led me to playing football, albeit tackle for the most part, until we got a little bit older and smarter and stopped playing tackle football with my friends. We went to some version of flag football. Now I just play once a year on Thanksgiving morning. So my perspective always was, man, I wish I got to play football. Now, as a father, for any of you who listen to me, you know that I am a father. I have children. I have 4 kids, ranging from 20 down to 1. Now, most of my older kids have really no interest in sports at this point, and they're getting older and don't, have the opportunity to play at the high school level anyway. But my 1-year-old, the question has been asked of me, would you let him play football? Now, again, I love sports more than almost anybody in the world. Loved playing it. My dream when I was a kid was to be a professional athlete. And apparently I'm too slow for that and not big or tall enough for any of that. But at 33 years old, I've moved on past that dream. And now I just want to talk to you about sports for the rest of my life as a passion. So, would I let my 1-year-old play football if he wanted to? Now, it's a very loaded question that I'm going to try to answer in the next 3 minutes, but the answer is loaded, just like the question. I don't believe that we can ultimately control anything that our children want to ultimately do. All right, people in my past have tried to control what I wanted to do for a living, and they couldn't. It's just, this is my passion. This is what I want to do. It's what I'm going to do with the rest of my life until I ultimately retire. Now, your parents and your environment, your network of people, they educate you, they teach you, they expose you to things that maybe you would or wouldn't have been exposed to. So my mom didn't let me play at a young age. I could have, when I got older, played football, because when you get older, you make your own decisions. So I will expose my 1-year-old to as much as I possibly can to the world while teaching him about what the world is like. My wife and I are very honest with our children. We do not lie to our children. Now, not every subject or movie or song or word is appropriate for a 1-year-old, 5-year-old, 10-year-old. So you have to answer every question in a certain way. But I will teach my child, if he's interested in football, the dangers of it and expose him to it in a way where he can understand. All right, this might be awesome, you might love it, but it is the most dangerous sport pretty much that there is. And for that reason, I would hope that he wouldn't choose football. But will I control or let or not allow him to do certain things? No, never. Because that will always backfire. You need to teach your kids as much as you can and give them the tools to do whatever it is they're going to do in life. And hope that you've done a good enough job so that they can go out and make the best informed, educated decision possible. It's my answer. I'm not telling you what your answer should be, but that's my answer. He wants to play baseball, basketball, soccer, football, golf, tennis, or not be into sports. That's okay. Whatever he decides is okay. Along with the rest of my children, whatever they decide is okay, as long as it is informed, educated, reasonable, and responsible. And that's it. And hopefully they don't fall in love with the Jets like I have, because that just brings me misery and pain. Half kidding. On that note, it is a rainy Thursday morning. I am Dave Ettinger of CBS Sports Radio. This has been another episode of the Dave Talk Sports podcast on the Dave Talk Sports YouTube channel. And I'm working tomorrow or tonight, so I will talk to you tomorrow morning. Until then, see you everybody. Be safe.